That's my name, Burk Moreland. That's my email address that goes straight to me. So if there's anything you hear today that you have a question about that you don't want to voice out loud in front of everybody, which happens periodically, or just something that all of a sudden clicks in a couple days and you go, you know, some about those pig things he was talking about, I'd like a little bit of information about that. What did that mean? That's my email address. That's the best way to get a hold of me. Please shoot me an email. No worries. No problem. No charge. Just send it. Because the most important thing to me is that you get something out of this. We'll talk about that in just a few minutes. Anybody in here like to hunt? Hunters in the room? A few of you? Okay. I have to tell you a quick story because this tells you a little bit about me. So when I was a kid, I grew up in Houston, and my dad and I liked to go duck hunting. And so for the first few years we were duck hunting, I started going when I was about 4. And his idea for me was, you're going to sit in the blind, and a little bit later, after I was about 6 or 7, he gave me the book that had all the ducks in it. Had how they actually flew, what patterns they flew, what the sounds they made, all those kinds of things in there. And I had to sit there, and as the ducks flew over, I had to tell him what they were. Because my dad is a mechanical engineer, worked at NASA for 47 years, is extremely conservative. He was not going to let me shoot the wrong thing, because he knew you hit the wrong thing, you're in a lot of trouble, or you're digging a hole, one of the two, right? Got to bury that thing every once in a while. So first 3 or 4 years, that's what I got to do. That was my job. So when I was about, I think I was 9, he finally got me a bolt action 20 gauge, right? Most of you that know guns, that's a pop gun. I mean, it can probably barely shoot from me to Jimmy, but that's what I had. Sawed it off so it was smaller. It was a great little gun. And so we go out for the first time. I've got my own weapon now. I'm a man, 9 years old with a gun. Something's wrong with this picture. But that's the way it works. So the ducks start coming by, and he says, okay, on your right, on your right. And I go up and I'm like, okay, those are teal. I know what those are. The pattern comes by, I come up, I shoot. Duck falls in the water. Dog goes and gets the duck, brings it back. Everything should be perfect, right? I should be doing backflips, excited. My dad is so proud. And when he finally gets over the fact the dog brings the duck and looks over at me, I've got my head down like this. And he's like, son, what's happening? What the hell's wrong with you? You just shot it. If you hit it. Took me a few minutes, and finally kept asking. I said, you know, it wasn't the one I was aiming at. So part of me that you need to know is I like results. I like things to happen as they're supposed to. I like efficiency. Those are all parts of my personality. And I didn't even know it when I was 9, but that's what my problem was. You know, a lot of people would have been, yeah, that's the one I was aiming at. No, I wasn't satisfied with that. So that's just a quick window into who I am. We'll go into that more in a minute.